Well, Kristen, how are you?
I'm good, Laura. How are you?
I'm just peachy keen.
We're going to talk about
Ready to jump into part 2 of the Real Housewives of the Orange County reunion. Part deux. Part deux. Talk to me. What do you think?
Okay, one thing I noticed right away, and I should have noticed it in part 1, was Tamra stoned? She looked stoned to me.
I didn't pick up on that, but again,
She was very sedated. I noticed. I'm like, Tamra took. She has
maybe
those.
she took a gummy. Well, she's got a CBD company.
She's got a CBD. I think she took a couple of those.
Well,
She was unusually un-Tamra like.
But to me, partying means like eating Krispy Kreme donuts. So I'm never going to figure it out when somebody's either like got or is all coked up or just the opposite. They smoked a lot of weed. I'm going to be like, no, they seem a little like calm, but I don't know.
She was stoned.
It's never what I go to, but I could
stoned.
see her being sedated, sure.
Well, I think it was smart because she wasn't the usual activated Tamra. And yeah, she wasn't drinking because when Tamra drinks, she gets crazy.
You don't want to see me.
So I think that it was the CBD, and she definitely took a few. Maybe she popped them in between breaks.
Because apparently they talked about, they started with the whole Tammy Wynette, like, stand by your man thing. But
do you think that was a rehearsed line by Emily? Like, I'm going to say, you're the Tammy Wynette, stand by your man. It just seemed like she practiced saying that before she said it.
She maybe just said, I could see that coming naturally. Emily is funny. So that's something that would come because stand by your man is such a part of it's part of my DNA. I mean, if I'm going to say stand by your man, I'm going to always go stand by your man, Well, so I think maybe somebody said, oh, do this, but I don't know. I just feel like it came naturally.
I like Emily. I love Emily this season. I did not like her. I don't like her so far with this reunion. Anyway, so I'm gonna pick on her a little bit.
I thought you pick on her, but I thought I really thought it was the lawyer in her.
Okay,
was out this season, this reunion.
Yeah. And, she reminded us a lot that she's a lawyer. She kept saying it over and over.
But
it was her legal mind just kept coming out.
The thing that I love most is when I have differing opinions with somebody.
Okay.
That I know is cool, like you, that we're friends. And I love like being like, really? You thought that? Because I thought this,
Mm-hmm.
So hold on. So Ryan, now poor Ryan. Ryan sent a cease and desist.
The cease and desist
apparently
came up.
Again, we talked about it.
Yeah.
And then basically she accused him of stealing money.
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, well, my CBD business, which you think she took before this, has makes more money than what was stolen from Shohei Ohtani. She didn't say his name, but from the baseball guy. But I think she just totally backpedaled. Tamra is trying to damage control all over because she was like, she apologized for the house being raided by the FBI, for the false statement. She apologized. She heard it on the streets. And I'm like, the mean streets of the OC. You heard it on the streets. Where is she? In like the, the drug. The mean streets of Monarch Bay.
Oh,
like
God.
it is.
Yeah.
Come on, Tamra.
Come on.
She heard it on the streets where? The Montage Hotel, which
I think
is
she's just pulling
$2,000 a night.
She's pulling it out of her ass, I think.
I don't know. Tamra,
Tamra's back. I know, because she was trying to say on Watch What Happens Live that she was when she said what she said. She misspoke. She said it all botched and wrong, and she didn't realize it until after.
She botched it.
Yeah. So that she was trying to clarify that.
Listen,
she does also.
Wait, no, go ahead. She does also.
No, I was going to say, and she also admits to being plastered the night of Katie's dinner when she said, how's the FBI working out for you? So see, she's trying to cover everything with,
wait, you know what
I misspoke, I was drunk,
I was plastered.
I was plastered.
Jen was like, where did Eddie sleep that night? And she was like, I don't
that
know.
was funny.
Maybe he slept on the couch because my daughter, your creepy daughter, lives in the casita.
Her daughter is a little creepy.
But she's a little weird. But you know what I love? You know what I noticed on this whole thing?
Yeah.
They all love to say casita. They all love the word casita.
Well, doesn't that sound nice and fancy?
No, casita doesn't sound fancy. It sounds like a small house,
like
which is exactly
cute little petit-a.
Oh no,
somewhere.
he was in the casita. I don't know. It sounds like
we New Yorkers say pied-à-terre, don't we?
Pied-à-terre. But
they say
when I hear
casita.
casita, I think Baja Fresh and a lot of I just think a lot Mexican food and a lot of chips just cracked all over the floor. That's what I think of. But they all love to say casita.
Casita.
Now,
but
again,
anyway, so she goes back to being plastered the night of Katie's party, and
she fell walking out, which was great.
Oh, that was great.
I don't know. I don't like that. Was again where I was like, Eddie does not look healthy. I don't think Eddie looks healthy at all.
No,
I think Eddie looks.
Think about this.
I feel like he wants to.
Eddie was a shell of a man that night. He had a blanket over him.
I feel like Eddie's unwell.
He had a blanket over him, like shivering, like, oh God.
Eddie used to be like the hot, is he Latino?
Yeah, I used to like Eddie.
Remember the scene in the tub where he takes the drink and
they go to business.
Yes. He getting down in their time. In the tub with Tamra. Now he's like an old frail man with a blanket.
He's like a little shell.
I don't know
Eddie the shell.
He just doesn't look well, and I hope he's.
Well, you know why I think we'll go back for a quick second. The reason why I think people like Eddie is because Simon, that's Tamra's husband, husband.
Simon Barney, the worst.
Simon Barney. He was horrible to her.
He was horrible.
And he really was. And you were so happy for Tamra that she found her knight in shining armor, Eddie. But now we look at Eddie, and he's like a shell of a man.
I don't know. Eddie, I don't know.
Anyway, I know.
And, Jen didn't care. They go through the whole thing about the background check. She was like, because I thought Jen, again, was standing up for herself.
Yeah.
She looks so pretty.
Oh, beautiful.
She looks beautiful. She's really kind of standing up to Tamra. And, and she said it doesn't, the whole thing where she was like, it doesn't stop you, Tamra. You'll say anything you want to say. And then somebody said, we all go lower. And she was like, but you go the lowest.
I think Shannon said that to her.
Because she does.
Like, Tamra, you go. And this was the thing about Tamra that was almost like out of character for her. She goes, yeah, I do. She admitted it.
Well, Tamra's keeping the show running.
I know.
I mean, somebody has to do it.
We need her on the show. I wouldn't want to see her leave.
Well,
there's a lot of things I'm
seeing
seeing on social media saying we want her off. We want her off. I don't think that would be a smart move. I think we need the antics of Tamra.
Are we watching this a year from now? I don't know.
I don't know what's
Southern Charm
next
in Beverly
year.
Hills, which starts tonight.
Yay.
We're on at the same time. I don't know. We're covering OC.
Okay. This has been a very good season, I have to say. But I have one stipulation. Do not bring Alexis back. I'm going to say it 1,000 times. Just don't bring her back.
She came up at the end. But wait, I do want to mention, and we mentioned this last week on the podcast.
Right.
She said, Andy said, so you're starting therapy on Monday. Is that right? And she's like, yeah, I'm starting on Monday. So she hadn't even started therapy yet. She's already
got
been
her
diagnosed autistic. She hasn't even started. And I love that Andy was like, was funny. So, Tamra, what took you so long? I mean, it was just so funny.
But she was like kind of laughing about it. Like, yeah, I know. I should have done this a long time ago.
Tamra's only talking about it because she knows how not well received she was.
I think she's got a sobering moment with this whole thing, looking back and all the backlash she's getting on social media.
Wait, I also thought
this was funny.
That they move forward and they say, so the trip to London. And I love that Heather. I mean, it was just very authentic moment. She was like, it was such bad turbulence. I was holding Katie's hand.
I know. Miracles do happen.
That was funny. And then it was like all clips of like Jen's financial problems and the beginning of the whole Gina and Jen thing and the house thing. So they were kind of going through the whole thing.
What I also found funny was that how Jen pointed out that
Heather
Heather called Tamra a historical friend.
Oh, that was great.
What the heck is a historical
they had
friend?
History together.
Okay. But I believe that Heather, that just sounds like something Heather would say.
It absolutely sounds
She was like, I never said that. I think she did.
Oh, I absolutely think she said that. She's
that
like, well,
I
don't talk that way. And I'm like, but you do.
You do, honey.
But wait, I thought it was funny also that Andy was like, so what are you doing to Jen to take control of your finances? And she was like, well, I'm paying my own car payment. And I was like, are you 18, Jen? You're paying your own car payment? Like, hooray.
Woohoo.
Again, Jen, you've set us back.
Damn.
You've set us all back.
She's a bit of a 1950s housewife.
She is an absolute 100% Stepford wife.
Okay, She is. But let's ask this. Is there anything wrong with that?
No.
That's okay. Right?
Listen, if Jen wants to be that,
Jen is
Jen
a housewife and she fits the bill.
She fits
to
the bill.
a T.
Who are we to say Jen can't be the Stepford wife?
She's just not the powerhouse working woman, dominating woman in the house at all.
Well,
she wasn't with her husband. She's not with Ryan.
Right.
It's just not who she is.
To Emily, who's a lawyer. If you put her up to
Emily's
Heather,
a powerhouse.
Who's an
Heather's
actor,
a powerhouse.
Who's right. These women that are just grabbing
They just got it all. Even Tamra. I mean, she's got her own company. She's got a very successful podcast.
She's the one.
She's
not
a
Eddie.
top housewife.
It's not Eddie.
It's not Eddie. So we've got these very powerful women here, and Jen is not that. She sort of takes like a back seat to that, but she is the typical Stepford housewife.
And she's the typical
But we love her.
Housewife of Orange County.
She is. She is.
But you know,
and she's also Malibu Barbie. It was on her bathing suit.
Oh my God, that was so funny.
That was really funny. That
God.
She actually made fun of it, which was
funny.
Know
what? Jen is good because she
can laugh at herself.
Exactly.
I do like that.
And I really like her. I can honestly say that if I was in that crowd, Jen and I would be buddies. I would be total buddies with Jen.
You know what? I say it again.
She's a good
She seems like a kind person.
She does. She's just cool.
Genuinely.
Cool.
Yes.
She's very cool.
She is. She is.
But what I've also thought was kind of crazy when they say her divorce settlement came through.
Yeah.
$200,000 and $6,000, a lump sum of $200,000.
And $6,000 a month.
If she was married to such a wealthy guy, $200,000 and $6,000 a month.
Well, $6,000 is not a lot for 5 children.
Is her getting dicked? What is she?
I don't know.
How is she taking care of 5 kids on $6,000 a month in OC?
Well, what's worse is that he hasn't really made the payments.
Oh, right. She said he was making like sporadic
payments.
I was like, what?
And he's a lawyer.
Right.
Her ex is a lawyer.
And then Emily very graciously pulled in and said, I can't believe it because they will start to dock you. And he knows, obviously. This guy sounds like a real arsehole.
I think he's very upset that Jen admitted last season that she did have an affair because she was with Ryan.
He was defaming her.
And he's very, very upset about that. And I think he's trying to get back at her.
I don't even know. Was this guy on the show prior?
I don't think they showed him. No. They just showed her with Ryan, even last season.
Oops.
So anyway, then we go to Gina and Travis for a minute. So it really does sound like Travis's ex is a lunatic, and Gina can't talk too much about it. But
and so now
there is all the reason why her and Travis do not live together, which you totally understand.
And I also, if I was Gina and my kids were afraid of there was obviously some incidents that happened with the ex, I would do the exact same thing.
She's doing the normal thing.
Thank you. My kids don't feel safe. And at the end of the day, I'll never forget, and I'm now quoting the Kardashians, but I remember Kourtney Kardashian on the phone with Scott Disick talking about their 3 kids, and she was like, Scott, you don't get it. I love my kids more than I love you.
Yeah.
Like,
of course.
Gina loves her kids, Travis, more than she loves you.
Yes.
Any mother, not that we don't love our husbands and we don't cherish them, but when it comes to your kids,
forget it.
That's it.
Yes.
It's done.
It's done.
They're not happy. You're not happy.
Not
Mama
only
Bear will take
are
care
they
of
not
it.
happy, it sounds like they're scared.
Yeah, it sounds like they're in peril.
So
like they're really afraid of what is
what
going
do you
on.
do? You're going to get your kids out of that situation.
And
even though Travis seems wonderful and they have a wonderful union
with his giant balls.
With his giant balls.
Travis big balls.
Big balls Travis. I mean, what was she showing? Like she was showing 2 pomegranates saying these are the size of his balls.
God, poor.
The poor guy got on display with that.
We don't need a visual, Travis.
No, not exactly. Although they really are a lovely couple. Then we move to, and I'm calling this babysitter gate. And we were just talking about it before in our other podcast.
Right.
So babysitter gate did come up about Kylie and doing TikTok videos now.
Just looked
about
so defeated.
Heather. It was just.
Oh. She was like, your girl's on. Wait, this was the best line ever.
Okay.
She said, your daughter is going out into the world and speaking ill of me.
Ill of me.
And saying that we are fake ass bitches who suck dick. I was like, Heather, and did you see Shannon's face? Shannon was like, oh my God.
I would never let my daughters do that.
I would say, take that down.
They were all horrified. They were just like, what?
Her name's Kylie.
Kylie. But
Kylie.
Katie was kind of just sitting there going, look, my daughter's got her own
Katie,
mind. Like, what do you want me to do?
Katie's like, I told her to take it down. You know, Katie's got this like way lower registry. For some reason, when I look at Katie, I think she would be a little bit higher speaking, but she's so deep.
No, she's
very deep.
Very
and
deep.
she's like, I agree. So she just looked like, I don't know.
Well, Katie is a journalist, so she kind of has that journalist voice. She's a journalist for golf.
Yeah.
So she's got that journalist voice. Yes. So, but that was very upsetting, and she spoke ill of Heather.
And we are the fake ass bitches who suck dick. I was like, that's awesome.
And then the worst part of the reunion happened. Jesus Jugs came.
Oh, Christ.
I just wanted her to go away.
Here comes Bellino.
Oh,
and
God.
I got to say, I feel like Shannon.
I just can't stand
the
her.
one-liners on Shannon. I feel like Shannon really served it up and served it cold.
She really did. I mean, she was so great.
But I want to also say
this was Shannon's shining moment.
But I have to say, Shannon, to the lighting crew of Real Housewives of OC reunion, you did not do Shannon any favors with the light.
Did you really think she looked?
I just think she was lit terribly. I just was like, okay.
Because I thought she looked pretty good.
I think Shannon looks pretty.
Okay.
But it was just too much.
Okay.
Like, it was just too much light. It was just
okay.
Like, listen, there's a reason why Barbara Streisand has like 20,000 like.
Yeah.
I feel like she has a sponge over the camera. Like, there's a reason. I mean, she's almost 80. But like, I feel like Shannon could have, even though she looks fabulous, could have done with a little bit of a buffer there.
Okay.
It was just like bubbling. Like we were seeing like every little bit of Shannon.
Well, I think Shannon is the spotlight of this reunion. She's got the first seat.
The whole season was about
She's got the first seat. And
us off.
Anyway.
Well, yeah, the seat next to Andy is the seat.
She's got the coveted seat. By the way, do you think it bothers Heather that she has like the third seat? Heather was like far.
I don't think so, but Heather.
No, I bet that
Heather.
bothered Heather. Like, why am I sitting so far?
Heather is, no matter where she is, it's coming to her. It's coming to her.
Okay.
But the best is
Jesus Jugs sucks.
Jesus Jugs, and Andy was like, "Oh, I heard you don't mind Jesus Jugs," and she's like, "It grew on me."
Okay, well, at least she was good about that.
But you know what? I just saw on social media also that the whole. Now they were talking a little bit back and forth about the whole Johnny J and the whole, and that he lowered it to $70,000, but he wouldn't sign a mutual non-disparage agreement. And she was like, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
I don't know, but I mean, they're still fighting this out in court.
It's going to trial.
Jesus.
Did you read that?
Damn,
I read it.
Ending. It was 6 months ago, and these idiots are now going to fight this out. Like, oh God!
I am so entertained by this. This is the most famous facelift in history.
Oh no, it is. It's the most famous facelift in history.
We are going to be talking about this facelift in history.
And then Shannon says, "Stop being John's mouthpiece. Stop it, Alexis." But she said the exact same thing that John said. Like, you have a very strange relationship with the truth. Blah, blah, blah.
But the best was when Shannon said, "How many times did you practice in the mirror? There's the door, Shannon Bador." And there was no door.
And there was no door.
She nailed that because
she's like, "Don't call me liar face. Don't call me liar face. You're a liar face. Don't call me liar face.
Don't lie me liar face. And don't shush me ever." I loved it when she said that to her too.
The best.
She said that to Alexis. Don't shush me ever.
The best exchange was,
I love her.
Shannon says, "I took your job 10 years ago, and I'm still sitting here."
Yeah.
And she said, "Well, something like," and she said, "Well, you came back 10 years later," and she's like, "As a friend."
As a friend.
It was great.
But also, I've been on TV for 15 years. Where the hell has she been?
Well, but wait, she says, Shannon goes, "As a friend," and Alexis says, I kind of felt bad when Alexis was like, "It's still a job."
Okay.
And she was like, "No, it's your career." And then she said, "I've been on TV for 15 years. What I don't know." And then she said, "You're a TV star." That was classic on Shannon. I mean, I had a good giggle. You're a TV star.
Oh,
You
I
should
love
be on
it.
Dr. Odyssey. You're so wonderful. Oh my God, that was funny. And then part 3.
Yes. I think that Alexis is so delusional. She probably thinks her and John are going to get their own
What
show.
show is Alexis on?
We're going to get our own
But
show.
what show? Has she been on other reality shows? I haven't seen her.
Have
on
you seen?
one
I haven't
thing.
seen her. I think, was she on Below Deck? I thought I read that.
Oh, they did go on Below Deck.
I didn't
I
see.
saw that. Below
How
Deck.
was that?
It was all right. But I mean,
please.
like, you
so
haven't
she's been on 15 years TV.
And she
what?
was on there not with John Jansen, with some other guy.
Oh God.
Jesus
All right.
Jugs gets around.
We don't care.
We don't care.
I don't give a shit.
So here we are at the end, part 3. As a matter of fact, I think they just dropped the trailer today. We'll post that on Littler Podcast.
Oh, I can't wait for part 3.
LITLR Podcast. Follow us at LITLR
Please.
Podcast. Thank you. We've gotten a lot of listeners, and we got to thank our listeners from Brazil,
All right.
Australia.
Thank
we
you
love our
guys.
US, of course, but we've gotten a lot of. We're starting to go global. We're starting to be worldwide.
I know.
Which I can't believe.
I can't
So
believe how
thank
much
you
it's picking
so
up.
much. So I think we're going to wrap it up here.
I think that's
it for
we
OC.
got one more to cover, and we'll do that next week.
Yeah, well, we're gonna send out a little Salt Lake City love because that came out. So
We're gonna do
we're
some
gonna
Salt
do that,
Lake
but
and another podcast.
We got another OC next week. I can't believe they're throwing this into 3 parts,
Oh my God.
but they are.
Yep.
All right, so
We'll
we're gonna see you in the living room next week, are we not?
Yes, we are.
Hey, thanks for listening.
Thank you, everybody.
We love you guys. Thank
Love
you.
you, love you.
And you ladies. We can't leave that. Can't leave out the ladies. Let's give everybody a round of applause. All right, we'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.
The living room is officially closed.